Hello and welcome to our reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the NECA Gears of War 2 Palace Guard. So yes, I reviewed Marcus Phoenix the other day, and unlike Marcus Phoenix, he actually has both of his arms still attached, which is nice. Apart from that, his articulation's not nearly as good. Of course, he looks really cool, and he is, of course, best Locust because he has torque bow and cool armor. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and zoom in on him for all of his articulation details and all those sorts of things. Alright, here we have our Palace Guard. As you can see, he is decked out in some very nicely designed armor. It's sort of a brownish, orangish color. Kind of like rust, I guess. He has his big fancy hat up here, and we'll zoom in on his face and his hat in a minute. All of his armor has some nice detailing and texture to it. He has his big flappy rubber bits down here. And they are like kilty, roby sort of things. And they're all rubber, and he's got one on every side of him. You can see his armor from the back there. See his big pointy shoulder pads here, which will break off if you're not careful with them. Luckily, they will glue back on very easily. But in all fairness, this was my fault. It did not just fall off. And that is pretty much the extent of his outer detail. He looks very nice. Lift these up and see his legs a bit. Got some boots and things down there. It's very bulky. Very nice armor. Let's zoom in on his head sculpt real quick. Alright, the only real face he's got is his mouth, and you can see his teeth in there. I'm guessing that these little lines up here at the top of this helmet are the eye holes. I'm guessing. I don't know. If not, he has no place he can possibly see out of. And he has some very nice designs here on the crown of his hat. Also, just while I'm up here, you can see some more designs on his shoulder plates and things like that. That's pretty much the same sort of design you'll find all over his armor, everywhere. So, let's zoom out and look at his articulation. Alright, articulation-wise, he just has a cut joint up here at the head, which is kind of sucky. He has ball joints here at the shoulders. Be careful with the shoulder pads, or you might snap them off, but they move forward and back and in and out. He has a bicep cut. He has these weird joints in his elbows and in his knees. They're like ball pegs, and they sort of rotate around and will move in like every direction, but they're not very good. They're a bit strange. And he's got rotations at the wrist, cut at the waist. His hips are on that same kind of diagonal joint. He's got those same weird ball peg sort of legs here, moving like all the directions. And nothing below that, no ankle joints or anything like that. So he's not as well articulated as Marcus Phoenix. You can get him in some poses holding his torque bow and things like that, but he's not going to be too agile. Speaking of the torque bow, let's go ahead and zoom in on his accessories. His only accessory is his torque bow. It has an arrow loaded there in the front. As you can see, it's basically designed, it's a bit like a grapple gun, honestly, just in appearance, except it has bow things on it. I'm not sure exactly what the point of the bow arms are, mechanically speaking. They do have blades on them, which are bloody, so I guess you can use them to beat people to death with, but it seems like it's just a gun that fires arrows that explode. So I'm not really sure why you need the bow arms on it, but they may provide some sort of mechanical support I'm not aware of. Either way, it looks very cool, and it is my favorite Gears of War weapon. So, yeah, that is the torque bow. Lastly, looking at the packaging, it says Gears of War 2 up here at the top. You got your big window. At the bottom, picture of the Palace Guard, Player Select logo. You have a picture of the Palace Guard on both sides. On the back, you've got a description, pictures of the figure, and the other figures in this wave. Standard sort of packaging from NECA. So, good for in or out of package display. And, yeah, Palace Guard. Alright, then we're up for our Palace Guard, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all those sorts of things if you enjoyed my video. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.